Okay, it's been 2 weeks of me being vegan. Actually, a few more days than that, and I am not dead. That is a good first, 2 weeks. And so, in this video, I want to tell you about my first 2 weeks of going vegan. You already know why I'm doing it if you've watched the video. If not, I'll leave it somewhere. And the reason I'm making this video is because I feel like anytime you do something new, the first 2 weeks are the weirdest, hardest, most, things are changing the most, and you don't really get a grip until probably a little bit further down the line. But 2 weeks is a good start. And so I want to talk about it. So let's talk about how has it been so far? What are questions that people would ask me? Let's think. Well, how can you do it? How are the meat cravings? Do you have any meat cravings? And honest answer is no. I don't have any meat cravings. In fact, I've been looking at meat, and I've been looking at these commercials as I'm watching FIFA and basketball, and every freaking sport is happening at the same time now. And so I'm watching a lot of commercials, and I'm seeing just all these fried chickens and stuff like that. I'm like, man. In my head, in my taste, in my memory, I know it's yummy, right? But in my head now, I'm just like, it doesn't really matter. Now, will this always be the case? I don't really know. But right now, it is not very appealing to me. Seeing my girlfriend eat eggs, seeing my friends eat, steaks and stuff like that, not that appealing to me. And it's only been 2 weeks, but we'll see how long this goes for. So craving for meat, eggs, things like that, doesn't really bother me. Other things are, is it hard to actually do? Not here. I live in Vancouver, Canada, which is a healthy, fit city that is very, I don't want to say woke, but they got a lot of vegan people here, and they got a lot of good fucking vegan food. Like yesterday I had vegan sushi, which is just whatever it wants to be, Vegan sushi just means tofu flavored thing, it's just okay. Or not tofu flavored, but tofu made flavored of the thing. So a California roll will be tofu flavored imitation crab, or whatever. Or imitation crab flavored tofu. And so there's a lot of good things, a lot of tasty things. And that's something that I've really enjoyed, actually, is that I've been eating a lot more variety, a lot more fiber, a lot more nutrients. And I'm starting to feel more energy. The first week, I was feeling pretty dead. I don't know if it was withdrawals from meat, which I doubt. But I don't know if it was just that, or my body was adjusting to the things. So one of the things that's the hard part about that I've noticed in the first few weeks is the bloating and the gas that you get from it. And this can be a little bit TMI, but yeah, lots of farts, man. And it's just been you can usually attribute it to one thing over another. And it's definitely chickpeas and I would say tofu, but it depends on how much tofu you eat. So chickpeas so far is definitely the gassiest of all the foods. And that can get kind of annoying. The bloating isn't painful, but I just feel full all the time, which sounds good, especially if you're trying to lose weight and things like that. But just on the day-to-day when I'm trying to do stuff, just feeling that, heaviness in my stomach, it doesn't feel great. I wake up feeling lean, and then I go to bed being damn, I feel thick, and not in a good way, which I just feel like I got a belly. But now that I'm 2 weeks in, I was experiencing the gas and the bloating early on. And so I looked up what can I do to make that better? And, it was all simple things. It wasn't start taking pancreatic enzymes or stuff like that. It's no, just chew slower. Stop chewing and breathing air as I'm swallowing and gulping water while just funneling air into it. And yeah, it's a good start. And, maybe my body just had to adjust. My microbes had to adjust in my gut so that they can handle the fiber. They can handle the new vegetables and the new stuff that I'm eating each day. And so that's okay. That's a part of the process. This is 2 weeks in. If it lasts a little bit longer, that's okay. If it lasts a lot bit longer, that might be okay too. It's not stopping me from doing anything. So another thing that I really like is that I like the creativity of eating different things and cooking different things. I've been eating a lot of lentils, beans, vegetables, chopping up. And on YouTube, there's so many good chefs and so many good creative ways to make anything. And all the imitation stuff that I'm eating is really fucking good. And I'm pretty stoked about it. And, there's a huge argument being well, if veganism's so good, then why do they make everything try to sound and taste like meat? It's basically to get other people on board, they have to convince people to get to this point so that they can, want to save the planet, want to save more animals, things like that. And in order to do that, you have to meet them where they're at. So if somebody eats fucking steak every day, well, the first alternative would be to eat something that tastes like a steak that isn't a steak. And making this argument is so dumb. It's so dumb to think well, why do they just try to mimic meat all the time? It's because people aren't there yet. You got to meet people where they're at. And so dumb, it tastes amazing. I'm shocked at some of this stuff. I had a thing that was duck. It tasted like duck. It felt like duck. Like if you've ever had duck, if you've ever eaten Chinese food, and duck is fucking yummy and it's fatty and it's kind of like yummy and greasy and tastes so good and so flavorful. And I had this vegan one and it was delicious. And I wasn't eating just a bunch of shit and I wasn't eating a carcass. I wasn't doing that. And that was really nice. So yeah, I was getting scared. I was like, oh fuck, is the fatigue ever going to go away? Am I ever going to feel energetic again? And over the last few days, I've been feeling like crazy energy. Well, now, will this be sustained? Will this be my new normal, my mania? Will this be the new normal? I'm super stoked if that's the case. If not, I totally understand. I feel like, life is waves anyways. You get some high peaks and then you get a bit of lows. But if I can maintain a higher level of energy on this diet, that is going to be super helpful. Over the last few days, I tried I took a little tolerance break from coffee, which gave me headaches for sure, as anything does. Whenever you're withdrawing from something, you're going to get headaches. And if I was a little bit stupider, I'd probably say it was the veganism that's giving me the headaches, but I knew it wasn't. It was the coffee. I stopped taking it for 2 days, and I was just like getting headaches, and I'm like, what's wrong with me? And then I was like, oh yeah, I stopped drinking the fucking drug I've been drinking every single day for like my life, And that's why I highly recommend taking tolerance breaks from coffee, from anything that you are addicted to, really. Other than like smoking and drinking. If you can just stop those outright, that's great. But if you can't, take a break at least. I remember kids in uni would be taking tolerance breaks from fucking taking 12 bong tokes a day. So it'd be like, all right, I'm going the next 12 hours sober, just so that they could have more, just so the next time they would take a bong toke, they would get higher, which is just so stupid. And that's just, tolerance breaks would probably help a lot with addiction and stuff like that. But honestly, I'm not going to get into it in this video. So creativity in the kitchen has been awesome. Cooking more is better, even with my broken wrist. Like, I don't know, I'm not very dexterous, which is annoying, but the ability and just to try new things. The thing I really like is, it sucks to be annoying, but like, at least I live in a place where there's vegan options in places, but for other people to try to convenience me, and I feel like sometimes I'm an inconvenience in being like, oh, like I can't go eat this place because, it's fucking Korean fried chicken and that's all they have. I don't really want to just eat like pickled radish for an entire meal. And so that can be kind of annoying. So socially, it could be a little bit worse, but the reality is I can just eat at home and I can just like go out and enjoy company with my friends rather than having to eat and bond over meats and whatever non-vegan food there is. So socially, a little bit annoying, a little bit weird, but really not that big of a deal. I really like the fact that the people that are vegan or the people that know about veganism when you go to a restaurant are passionate. They like to talk about, what it is. And I haven't gone super deep and talked about like, animal rights and things like that, but I've been, people that are passionate about cooking and doing new things and trying new things. And that's really cool. And I really appreciate that. Bowel movements, excellent. As you'd kind of expect as your body adjusts to more fiber, eating more nutrients, energy's been through the roof. I can't really say how much it's been for my performance in terms of athleticism and training for triathlon or anything because I haven't been working out. I've just been walking a couple hours a day, which has been good for me, but it's nothing crazy. So I can't say like, oh, veganism is like ultimate hack for recovery and things like that. No, I'd have to wait until I'm, checked out to actually train, and then I'll see how that feels when the time comes. What else? What else is new? I don't know. I feel pretty energetic, and I feel more spiritually in tune, which is a great benefit because that's kind of the way I'm heading, and that is something that I want to continue to pursue. And as I'm learning more about longevity, learning about health, learning about spirituality, and learning about animals and global warming and things like that is, I don't know, I feel more aligned. And I think feeling more aligned and more purposeful is actually very empowering and might be something that you could do. So yeah, the first 2 weeks, maybe the first week you might feel fatigued while you're doing this, but that'll go away. Just like when you do anything new, the first part's either the hardest or it's super easy and then it gets a little bit harder. But as I continue to do this 2 weeks in, I find it way easier than it was the first week. The fatigue, not knowing what to eat, having to look up everything that I'm going to eat, and so that can be annoying. And so actually, what the last point is that like it just forces you to eat healthier. There's a lot of garbage vegan processed food and stuff like that. But honestly, it's like I don't even like going to the grocery store. So I'll just like go do like a vegetable haul, grab some tofu, things like that. And that's it. And I don't want to sit in there reading boxes all day. okay, about like the ingredients. It's like I want to know exactly. I know what I know. I'm going to use that, and maybe as I continue, I will. I'll do more with that. And so you just eat more healthy because I can't have a chocolate bar anymore. I would go every time I'd go to the gas station, I'd get a Snickers bar, and I'd just be like, all right, great. I'm just gonna have a Snickers bar on the way home, and that's great. And that probably has milk and stuff like that I can't eat, and that's good. So it's nice to have some rigid rules that don't make me feel like I'm actually being rigid or I'm not being strict with myself. I'm actually just eating what I want to eat with what I'm allowed to eat. So like if you're religious, if you are one of these people that, can't eat pork or something like that, then it makes it easy. You don't care about eating bacon because you don't want to, because, Allah said that, or, that's what the Quran says or what the Bible says or whatever anything says. And so this is kind of just like a new way of looking at it. And is it strict? I guess so. It is still an extreme way of eating, but it doesn't feel that hard and it doesn't feel that extreme. And I feel like there's so many alternatives that are healthy that taste good, that I can get away with it. And like I said, and I've said this before in more of these videos, is that I'm really lucky. I'm really lucky. I live in a place that has these options, that has good grocery stores, that I can afford to eat these foods. But at the end of the day, and the next video I'll make is how to fucking eat super cheaply on vegan, or a vegan diet super cheaply. Not that I'm the best cook or anything, but I can do this super cheaply. And, that might be very valuable for, lower income people or whoever it might be. So I hope you like this video. I hope you, try it. I don't know. I want to push people to try this because I don't think eating challenges are that hard. I think you can do anything for a month. Like you can quit sugar for a month. That's super easy. You can quit whatever you want. But I think veganism is one of the more nobler ones that you can try to do and learn more about. And yeah, it's quite fun. So like, subscribe. Always remember to rep the set, and I'll see you in the next one.